Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Yes Mathematics. Now today we will start ring theory part 1. Here we are going to learn the new structure which is equipped with two binary operators called ring. We are going to learn the definition of ring and some types of rings in this video. Now before going to the definition of ring, in previous videos, one of my videos, we have seen the definition of group. While learning the definition of group, we said group is the fundamental tool for the development abstract algebra, for the development of abstract algebra. What do you mean by abstract algebra? Abstract algebra is nothing but it is the study of structures, how the structures are developed. Now, basing on the nature of various types of sets with respect to various operations, the structures are developed. Now see here. Now the motivational idea of the ring we are going to see. Now before going to the ring definition, we will recall once the group. What do you mean by group? It is an algebraic structure which is equipped with one binary operator. With respect to that binary operator, that structure should satisfy closure property, associative property, and that structure should contain the identity element, and in that structure every non-zero element should possess its inverse with respect to the defined binary operator. If these four properties are satisfied, we call that structure is an algebraic structure. After that, if that structure satisfies an abelian property or commutative property, that is for any two elements A and B belongs to that structure, if dot is the operation of the structure, then A dot B should be equal to B dot A. That we have seen. Group is an algebraic structure. It satisfies certain properties, 5 properties. If it satisfies all the 5 properties, we will call it as a abelian group. If it satisfies only the first 4 properties, we will call it as a group. Okay. Now this is ring we are going to study. In order to study the ring, define a ring, we need two operators. It is also a non-empty set. It is also a non-empty set. It should be equipped with addition and multiplication, two operators. Now now keep it inside. Now suppose if you consider the set of real numbers denoted by R and the set of integers denoted by Z, the set of rectangular matrices such as R3 by 5, that is the entries are real numbers, and the set of complex polynomials. The complex polynomial means, you know what is a complex polynomial? Complex polynomial is the set of complex polynomials. Suppose if you take the set of polynomials like this, f of x, it is the set of all f of x where fx is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus so on plus an x power n plus so on, where a0, a1, a2, an are the complex numbers. What do you mean by complex number? Complex number is of the form, suppose a is a complex number, it is of the form x plus I y, where x and y are the real numbers. Okay. Now if you consider these four sets, that is set of real numbers, set of integers, set of rectangular matrices, and set of complex numbers. In arithmetic we are having four fundamental operators, is it? Plus, minus, multiplication, division. These are the four fundamental operators. Now see, with respect to these four fundamental operators, how the considered sets are behaving. Now if you see, set of real numbers, with respect to addition it is closed. With respect to subtraction it is closed. With respect to multiplication also it is closed. With respect to addition also it is closed. Division also it is closed. That is set of real numbers. Now if you consider the set of integers, with respect to addition it is closed. That is, if you add two integers, you will get again an integer. If you subtract two integers, again you will get an integer. So with respect to subtraction also it is closed. With respect to multiplication also you will get. If you multiply two integers, you will get an integer. But coming to division, with respect to division, it is not closed. For example, 2 and 4 are the integer. If you consider 2 by 4, this is equal to half. Half is equal to 0.5. It is not an integer. Okay. Therefore, set of integers with respect to division, it is not closed. Okay. Next, set of all rectangular matrices of the type 3 by 5. With respect to addition, it is closed. With respect to subtraction, it is closed. But coming to multiplication, multiplication of two matrices will be possible only when the number of columns in the first matrix will be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. Then only the matrix multiplication will be possible. If you take rectangular matrices of 3 by 4, the multiplication is not possible. So multiplication is not closed. Similarly, division is not also closed. Why? Because A divided by B means A multiplied with B inverse. Now the matrix always doesn't possess its inverse. Okay? Therefore, we know that a matrix multiplication is not closed, matrix division is not closed. Set of complex polynomials, if we take, addition is closed, subtraction is closed, multiplication is closed. But if you multiply one polynomial with the other polynomial, if you divide one polynomial with the other polynomial, you will get a rational polynomial. Therefore, it is not, division is not closed. Is it? Now, see here, you have considered 4 sets. Now, how they are behaving with respect to addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you have seen. With respect to all the 4 fundamental operators, set of real numbers is becoming closed. Coming to set of integers, it is closed with respect to the first 3 operators. With respect to division, it is not closed. Coming to rectangular matrices of the type R3 by 5 or 2 by 3, anything you can take, it is closed with respect to addition, subtraction and subtraction, but it is not closed with respect to multiplication and division. Set of all complex polynomials also, they are with respect to addition, subtraction and multiplication closed. Coming to division, that means basing on the operator, the sets are behaving, is it or not? Their behavior are becoming different with respect to different operators. That is, the nature, the elements will differ with respect to the different operators. Is it? Will behave differently, we can say that. The sets will behave differently with respect to the different operators. Okay? Or the different sets will behave differently with respect to the different operators. Okay? Now, basing on the behavior of the sets with respect to the given operators, we are going to define the structure ring. Okay? Ring and types of rings. Now see here. Now, set of all real numbers will form an abelian group. It will form an abelian group with respect to addition. Will you accept? Set of integers also will form an abelian group with respect to addition. Set of all rectangular matrices will also form an abelian group with respect to addition. Set of complex polynomials will also follow an abelian group with respect to addition. All the 4 examples are forming an abelian group with respect to addition. Here we have to notice one point, that is, Coming to, in arithmetic you are having 4 fundamental operators. Coming to abstract algebra, we are restricting to 2 operators. Why? Because now see, suppose A minus B if you want to take. This can be written as in A plus minus B. Is it or not? You can write. What is minus B? Minus B is the additive inverse of B in the language of abstract algebra. That is, coming to abstract algebra, subtraction is nothing but addition of the inverse of the element with respect to addition. If it is addition, it is with respect to addition. Suppose if you take A divided by B, is it? This you can write it as A dot B inverse. Can you write A dot B inverse? Or you can write it as A dot 1 by B. 1 by B is the reciprocal. So division is replaced by the multiplication of its reciprocal or multiplication of its inverse. So out of 4 arithmetic fundamental operators, they are considered as only 2 fundamental operators. Coming to abstract algebra, we are taking only 2 fundamental operators. The reason is this, because subtraction is nothing but addition of the inverse element, multiplication is nothing but multiplication with division is nothing but multiplication with multiplicative inverse. Okay, is it clear? So A minus B can be written as A plus minus B. Minus B is nothing but the additive inverse of B. Similarly, in multiplication, coming to multiplication and division, division is nothing but multiplication with the reciprocal of the element or multiplication with the multiplicative inverse of the element. Division is nothing but multiplication with the multiplicative inverse. Therefore, coming to abstract algebra, instead of 4 operators, we are restricting to 2, cross and addition and cross. Now is it clear? Now we will move to the ring definition, formal definition. Ring is nothing but it is a non-empty set equipped with 2 binary operations in R plus dot. So if R is a non-empty set, it is equipped with 2 binary operators. Don't think this R as the set of real numbers. This R is nothing but ring. The definition you are using the letter ring. R plus dot if you take. Now, when will you say this R plus dot? That is, R is a non-empty set of elements. Then it is equipped with 2 binary operators, namely plus and dot. This plus and dot, with respect to plus and dot, this R should satisfy some of the postulates. If it satisfies those postulates, we will say that it is a ring. See what are those postulates. With respect to addition, R plus is an abelian group. With respect to addition, R plus is an abelian group. What is an abelian group? For any 2 elements A comma B belongs to R, A plus B belongs to R. That is, closure satisfies. For any 3 elements A, B, C belongs to R, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. That is associativity. For every A belongs to R, E belongs to R, A plus E is equal to E plus A is equal to A. That is existence of identity. Next, for every A belongs to R, there exists B belongs to R, such that A plus B is equal to B plus A is equal to E. That is existence of inverse. Next, last one. A plus B should be equal to B plus A for any A comma B belongs to. That is commutative property with respect to addition. If all these 5 properties are satisfied by the elements of R with respect to addition, then we will say that R plus is abelian. In order to say that any non-empty set which is equipped with addition and multiplication, that is equipped with 2 binary operators, should satisfy the first property. With respect to addition, it should be an abelian group. With respect to multiplication, it should be a semi-group. R dot is a semi-group. That is, for every a comma b belongs to R, a dot b belongs to R, a comma bc is equal to ab of c. That is, closure and associativity satisfies in any set, then you will say that it is a semi-group. Therefore, with respect to dot semi-group, it should be semi-group. Not only this, because it is an algebraic structure equipped with two binary operators, these two operators should respect each other and they should behave properly with each other. That behavior we are defining in terms of distributive laws. Coming to distributive laws, a dot b plus c should be equal to a dot b plus a dot c. A plus b dot c is equal to a dot c plus b dot c. That is, these two operators plus and dot together should satisfy left distributive law and right distributive law. Then you will say that R plus dot is a ring. What is R plus dot? R is non-empty set. It is equipped with two binary operators R plus dot. So when will you say this is a ring? This is a ring if it satisfies the three postulates. The first one is R plus is abelian. Is it? Second one, with respect to dot, it is a semi-group. Is it clear? It is semi-group. Next, together, plus and dot together should satisfy distributive laws. Now, is it clear? This is the three sets of axioms. Abelian group means it should satisfy closure, associativity, existence of identity, existence of inverse, and commutativity should satisfy. Next, semi-group means closure and associativity with respect to multiplication. See, now the last one is combining these two together, that is the two operators which are equipped with R together should satisfy the distributive laws. Then you will say that it is the ring. Now I think the definition of ring clear to you. Now Z plus dot, that is integer set, and Q plus dot, R plus dot, C plus dot are the rings. They are all the rings. That is, already you have seen in group theory, Z plus will form an abelian group, Q plus will form an abelian group, R plus will form an abelian group, C plus will form an abelian group. Similarly, Z dot, it is closed with respect to multiplication and it is associativity satisfies. Similarly, in the other three sets also, Z dot is semi-group with respect to multiplication, and the distributive laws also satisfy in these four sets. So these four sets are the examples of the rings. In problems video, we will see how they separately how they are forming the abelian group and semi-group and how they are satisfying the distributive laws. Now see, n plus is not a ring. Why? N plus dot is not a ring, because n means the set of natural numbers. The set of natural numbers starts with 1, n, therefore there is additive identity is missing there. Additive identity 0 is missing there. Therefore, n plus is not an abelian group. Therefore, n plus dot is not a ring. Similarly, the set of all odd integers is not a ring. Why? Because closure property won't satisfy. If you add two odd integers, you will get even integer, which is not belonging to the set of odd integers. Therefore, these two are the examples of sets which are not becoming rings. Now, is it clear? The ring definition, when will you say any algebraic structure is a ring? Any algebraic structure equipped with two binary operators, namely addition and multiplication. With respect to addition, the structure should be an abelian group. With respect to multiplication, the structure should be semi-group, and these two together, that is addition and multiplication together, should satisfy the distributive laws. Then you will say that that structure is a ring. Now the examples of ring are Z plus dot, Q plus dot, R plus dot, C plus dot. Okay. Now we will see the types of rings. Now commutative ring. a ring R plus dot, that means which satisfy the above said properties. R plus is abelian, R dot is semigroup, and in R distributive law satisfies, is it, with respect to addition and multiplication, has commutative property with respect to dot is called commutative ring. Now see, R dot is a semigroup, it is not satisfying the other properties of the group, that is existence of identity, existence of inverse, and commutative property. So with respect to dot, if any algebraic any ring satisfies different properties, according to that we are giving the different names for the rings. So see here, R plus dot is said to be commutative ring if there satisfies commutative property with respect to multiplication. What is the commutative property with respect to multiplication? For any two elements A and B belongs to R, AB is equal to BA, then you will say that it is a commutative ring. Is it clear? When will you say any ring is a commutative? In the structure ring, commutative property with respect to multiplication satisfies, that ring is said to be commutative ring. The ring Z of integers is a commutative ring. Now is it clear? The ring Z of integers is a commutative ring. Now see next one, ring with unity. Now see, additive identity is existing in the ring, but you don't know whether multiplicative identity exists or not. In order to define ring, it is not a condition. With respect to multiplication, R dot is semigroup, that's all you said, is it? So in a ring R plus dot, if there exists 1 belongs to R such that A dot 1 is equal to 1 dot A is equal to A, that means 1 is the multiplicative identity. If in a ring multiplicative identity 1 exists, then you will say that that ring is with unity. Multiplicative identity 1 is called unity of the ring. This ring is with unity. When will you say that? It is a ring, but it must possess multiplicative identity. Then you will call it as a ring with unity. Z plus dot is a ring with unity. Q plus dot is a ring with unity. R plus dot is a ring with unity. C plus dot is a ring with unity. Okay. Now take the next one. Zero ring or null ring. Zero ring or null ring. Suppose R is equal to singleton 0. If you take only one element, it is, and it is equipped with two operators plus and dot. With respect to plus and dot, it satisfies all the properties. That is, with respect to addition, it will satisfy abelian. With respect to dot, it will be semigroup, and distributive laws also will be satisfied. Therefore, the R is equal to singleton 0 is the structure equipped with addition and multiplication will form a ring, and this is also commutative ring. Therefore, it is called a commutative ring. Give an example of zero ring if you are asked. Then how you have to give? R is equal to singleton 0, which is equipped with two operations plus and dot, will be a zero ring or null ring. Now is it clear? Now see here. Now in a ring, if commutative property satisfies and there exists unity element also, then we will call that ring as a commutative ring with unity. A commutative ring with unity. Now is it clear? What do you mean by commutative ring with unity? Means a ring which satisfies commutative property and which possesses unity element with respect to multiplication, or identity element with respect to multiplication. Now is it clear? Now see, special ring with zero divisors. Now see here, a ring with zero divisors. What do you mean by zero divisor? Now in arithmetic, if you are having AB is equal to 0, either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. This we are having. Or otherwise, if you have x square minus 4 is equal to 0, if you take, that is x minus 2 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. Then what will you assume? You will assume either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. But coming to abstract algebra, if the product of two terms is 0, the numbers existing in that product need not be zeros. Is it clear? That means AB is equal to 0 implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0 in algebra we are having. But it need not be. There are cases. See, suppose if you take multiplication modulo Z12, or otherwise if you take this example also, A is equal to 1 0 0 0 0, B is equal to 0 0 1 0. Now this is a ring M2 plus dot. Why it is a ring? Because it is all set of all 2 by 2 matrices. It is set of all 2 by 2 matrices. It will form an abelian group with respect to addition. It will form a semi group with respect to multiplication, and distributive laws also will be satisfied there. In group theory we have seen. Now A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to 0. If you take the product, it is becoming 0. Similarly, in the ring Z12, with respect to addition modulo 12, it is an abelian group. With respect to multiplication modulo 12, it is a semi group, and this distributive laws will also be satisfied. Then you will say that that is the ring with 0 divisors. The ring with 0 divisors. Next, the ring without 0 divisors. If in a ring AB is equal to 0 implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0, then you will say that it is a ring without 0 divisors. Now with 0 divisors, AB is equal to 0 implies either A is not equal to 0 or B is not equal to 0. Okay, the ring of integers example is here. Now cancellation laws in a ring. Let R be a ring, ABC belongs to R and A is not equal to 0. If AB is equal to AC implies B is equal to C, BA is equal to CA implies B is equal to C. Here the cancellation laws are with respect to multiplication but not addition, because with respect to addition it is an abelian group. In a group cancellation laws hold. You need not think of with respect to addition but with respect to multiplication. Next, some special types of rings. There are 2-3 rings. They are called integral domain, field and skew field. Now see here, let R plus dot be any ring and AB belongs to R, then R is said to be an integral domain. First condition is R is commutative ring with unity, and second condition is R is a ring without 0 divisors. Now see here, without 0 divisors, R is a ring without 0 divisors. Commutative ring with unity means in a ring commutativity satisfies and multiplicative identity exists. We will say that that ring is commutative with unity. And then without 0 divisors, that is for any two elements A comma B belongs to R, A comma B belongs to R, AB is equal to 0 implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Then you will say that that ring is integral domain. Z5 is an integral domain, but coming to this one, Z6 is not an integral domain. Why? And if you see the with respect to multiplication in Z6, now if you take 2 into 3, 2 multiplication modulo 6 3 is 6 by 6, the remainder is 0. So there exists 0 divisor. Therefore Z6 is not an abelian group. Z5 is an integral domain, Z6 is not. Okay. Now coming to the field, let R plus dot be any ring and A comma B belongs to R, then R is said to be a field if it is a commutative ring with unity and every non-zero element has multiplicative inverse. Now see here, what is the difference between domain and a field? Integral domain means without 0 divisors. Both are commutative rings with unity. Here you need not have any condition on 0 divisors, but every non-zero element should possess its multiplicative inverse. Then you will say that it is a field. Now you can also say that field means R plus is an abelian, R dot is a semi-group, distributive laws should satisfy, and with respect to multiplication, every non-zero element of field should possess its multiplicative inverse. Then you will say that that ring is a field. Okay, Q plus dot, R plus dot, C plus dot are the examples. Now ZP, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. P minus 1 with respect to addition and multiplication modulo P If P is prime, it is also field. Z plus dot is not a field. Why? Because in Z plus dot, with respect to multiplication, if you take 4, 1 by 4, it is not an integer. That is, multiplicative inverse is not existing for non-zero element. There are only two elements which are having inverses 1 and minus 1. Give an example of a ring in which only two elements are possessing their multiplicative inverse. Then you can give Z plus dot. Z plus dot is a ring, but it is not a field. Now is it? Similarly, Z6 addition modulo 6 multiplication modulo 6 is also not a field. Now see here, next, division ring or skew field. A ring R plus dot is said to be skew field or a division ring if it has a R is a ring with unity element, that is 1 belongs to R. Every non-zero element has multiplicative inverse. That means what is the difference between field and skew field? That is, the only thing is that commutative property need not be satisfied in division ring. Any division ring in which commutative property satisfies is said to be a ring. Now examples of division ring or skew field are Q plus dot, R plus dot, and Z plus dot is not a division ring. A commutative division ring is a field. Every field is also a division ring, but a division ring is not a field.